Walk onto any used car lot in America right now, and you'll see the same scene playing out. Buyers crowding around a tired old RAV4 with 90,000 miles on it, arguing over who gets to test drive it first, while 20 feet away, a newer, better-equipped SUV sits untouched under a coat of dust. Nobody's circling it. Nobody's asking the salesman about it. That's exactly the problem I want to talk about today. After 2 decades of standing in shops and watching what actually comes back on a tow truck versus what just keeps rolling down the highway, I've learned something most buyers never figure out until it's too late. The badge on the hood doesn't tell you the truth. The reliability data does. And in 2026, that data is pointing at some very specific vehicles people need to stop buying, and some others that deserve a lot more attention than they're getting. So here's the promise for today. I'm walking you through 5 vehicles that show up near the bottom of the reliability rankings for 2026. Vehicles Consumer Reports and other independent sources have flagged as risky bets. And for every single one, I'm handing you a direct alternative. Same category, same kind of buyer, but a vehicle that'll actually treat you right for the next 10 years, instead of turning into a money pit in your driveway. This isn't a hate video. I'm here to keep you from writing a check you'll regret. Let's get into it. Number 5 on the avoid list is the Chevrolet Blazer EV. Here's the thing about the Blazer EV. On paper, it looks like exactly what a modern buyer wants. Electric, stylish, loaded with screens, positioned as GM's answer to the crossover EV boom. But when the 2026 reliability data came out, the Blazer EV landed among the worst-scoring vehicles on the entire list. Low predicted reliability. And that's before you even factor in how new EV powertrains tend to behave once they're a few years old and out of warranty. Why does the market keep buying it anyway? Because it looks the part. It's got the tech, the range numbers look competitive on a spec sheet, and dealers are pushing hard on EV incentives right now. I had a customer last year who was ready to sign for a Blazer EV because his neighbor had one and loved the screen. I asked him one question. How does the neighbor feel about it after the first software update bricked his climate controls for 2 days? He ended up in a Honda CR-V hybrid instead, and a year later, the only thing he's had to do is rotate his tires. Mechanically, the concern isn't one single part, it's the whole ecosystem. Battery management software, charging hardware, and electrical architecture all still working out early kinks. That's normal for any new platform's life cycle, but it means early adopters absorb the risk. In many markets, a lightly used Blazer EV runs somewhere in the mid-30s to low 40s depending on trim and battery size, real money to bet on a young platform. If you're still tempted, here's your checklist. Get a full battery health report, not just a range estimate. Check for outstanding software recalls tied to the infotainment or battery module. Test every drive mode and charging cycle in person. Get the full service history. And get an independent EV certified inspection, not just a standard one. Now here's the alternative, the Honda CR-V Hybrid. This is one of the easiest recommendations I make all year. It's spacious, fuel efficient, and Honda's hybrid system in the CR-V is a proven, boring piece of engineering, which, when you're buying used, is exactly what you want. No complicated battery ecosystem to gamble on, just a well-sorted hybrid powertrain refined over years. It's got real cargo room, strong resale value, and Honda continues to post solid reliability numbers across the board. Who should buy the CR-V Hybrid? Anybody who wants a practical, efficient daily driver without playing beta tester for new technology. Who should skip it? If you specifically need serious towing capacity or off-road capability, this isn't your vehicle. There are better tools for that job. Number 4 is the GMC Acadia. This one might sting for some of you, because the Acadia looks like a solid, mainstream family SUV. 3 rows, reasonable price point, GMC badge that feels a step above Chevrolet. But in the 2026 Consumer Reports reliability rankings, the Acadia didn't just land near the bottom, it landed at the very bottom of the entire list. That's not a minor ding, that's the lowest score on the chart. Here's why people still buy it anyway. It looks like a normal, safe, sensible choice. It doesn't scream risk the way a brand new EV does. It's a familiar shape with a familiar badge, and buyers assume familiar means dependable. That assumption is exactly what gets people into trouble. A family I know almost bought a used Acadia for their daughter's first car because it felt like a safe grandma SUV. I walked them through the data instead, and they left with a Subaru Forester. 18 months later, the only unplanned expense has been a set of brake pads. Mechanically, the Acadia's issues tend to cluster around the transmission and electrical systems in higher mileage examples. Failures that don't show up on a 5-minute test drive, but absolutely show up 2 years in. Used Acadias often sell in the high teens to mid-20s, depending on trim and mileage, which sounds like a bargain until you start pricing out transmission work. Checklist. Check transmission fluid condition and color, not just the level. Listen for hesitation or clunk during shifts, especially from a cold start. Scan the electrical system for stored fault codes. Review service records for prior transmission work, and check for open recalls tied to the powertrain. Your alternative here is the Toyota Highlander Hybrid, or the Grand Highlander Hybrid if you need more third-row space. Toyota's hybrid system in this segment has years of real-world mileage behind it. Owners routinely put well over 100,000 miles on these with nothing more than routine maintenance, and it holds resale value about as well as anything on the road today. Who should buy it? Families who want 3-row space without gambling on reliability. Who should skip it? If your top priority is a rock-bottom purchase price over everything else, you might find a cheaper option elsewhere. Just know what you're trading for that lower number. Let's pause here for a second. If this kind of straight-talk used car advice is useful to you, go ahead and hit subscribe. I've got more videos coming on exactly this topic, the vehicles dealers love to push, and the ones that quietly deserve your money instead. All right, back to the countdown because the next one is where this gets personal for a lot of families. Number 3 is the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. This one's tough because on paper, the Pacifica Hybrid checks every box a family could want. Plug-in hybrid efficiency, minivan practicality, a smooth ride. But it also appears among the least reliable vehicles predicted for 2026, and minivans are exactly the vehicles where you can least afford unpredictability. This is the car hauling your kids to school, your groceries home, your family across 3 states for a holiday. It needs to be boring in the best possible way, and the data says it isn't. The reason people still buy it comes down to features. The Pacifica Hybrid genuinely has a nice cabin, good tech, a comfortable ride, and buyers fall in love with those things without ever pulling up a reliability chart. I had a family dead set on one because the kids loved the rear entertainment screens. I asked them to imagine those screens working perfectly while the hybrid system is in the shop for the 3rd time. They left in a Toyota Sienna Hybrid instead and haven't looked back. Mechanically, the concern centers on the plug-in hybrid system's complexity. More components means more potential failure points, and that's translated into real-world reliability complaints once these vehicles rack up real mileage. Used pricing often lands somewhere in the low 20s to low 30s, depending on year and trim, competitive on paper, but not if you're back in the shop every few months. Checklist. Have the hybrid battery and charging system fully tested. Check for stored fault codes related to the hybrid control module. Ask about prior recalls tied to the battery pack. Inspect the power sliding doors thoroughly, since electrical gremlins show up there first, and get the full maintenance history. Your alternative is the Toyota Sienna Hybrid. The Sienna Hybrid is, in my opinion, the smartest minivan on the market for a family that wants zero drama. It's proven, efficient, and was recognized among category leaders in J.D. Power's most recent dependability study. The kind of independent validation that matters when you're trusting a vehicle with your kids every day. Who should buy the Sienna Hybrid? Any family that wants maximum practicality with minimum surprises. Who should skip it? If you want a plug-in hybrid specifically for the tax incentive or the extra electric-only range, this isn't built for that use case. Look elsewhere for that specific need. Number 2 is the Kia EV9. I know this one's going to get some pushback because the EV9 looks incredible. It's one of the more striking electric SUVs on the market right now. Bold styling, 3 rows, a genuinely impressive interior. But looking good and being a safe used purchase are 2 completely different things, and the EV9 shows up among the vehicles with the lowest predicted reliability heading into 2026. Here's the psychology behind why people still chase it. It's new, it's electric, it photographs beautifully, and buyers want to feel ahead of the curve. Nobody wants to admit that being an early adopter on a brand new 3-row EV platform means being part of the test group for problems that haven't fully surfaced yet. A retired school teacher I know almost bought one because her grandkids thought it looked like something from the future. She ended up in a Subaru Forester instead, at a fraction of the price, and told me she doesn't miss the third row nearly as much as she appreciates never worrying about her car. Mechanically, the concerns mirror other young EV platforms, battery software, charging hardware, and complex electronics still maturing without years of real-world mileage behind them. Used EV9s often run from the mid-40s well into the 50s depending on trim and battery size. Real money for a vehicle whose long-term dependability is still an open question. Checklist. Get a full battery health diagnostic from a certified technician, not a dealer estimate. Check for active or pending software recalls. Test the charging system at both standard and fast charge speeds. Review the full digital service history, and confirm what battery warranty coverage transfers to you as a used buyer. Your alternative is the Subaru Forester. I'll be honest, the Forester isn't flashy. It doesn't have 3 rows, and it's not electric, but it combines standard all-wheel drive, strong safety ratings, and a reputation for reliability that Subaru has built over years of consistent performance in independent rankings. The 2026 Forester earned recognition for its safety performance, and Subaru as a brand continues to post strong marks in recent reliability studies. It's the vehicle I'd put a parent or a new driver in without a second thought. Who should buy the Forester? Anyone who wants a genuinely dependable daily driver that handles snow, rain, and rough roads without drama. Who should skip it? If you absolutely need 3 rows of seating for a large family, you'll need to look at a bigger vehicle. This isn't the right shape for that job. And now, number 1. This is the one I wanted to make this whole video around, because it's the pairing that surprises people the most. Number 1 on the never buy list is the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid. Everything about the CX-90 PHEV is designed to make you fall in love with it in the showroom. It's genuinely one of the best-looking interiors in its price range. The ride is refined. The plug-in hybrid setup promises the best of both worlds, efficiency and power. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous as a used buy, because it's easy to justify with your heart instead of your head. This vehicle also appears among the least reliable models predicted for 2026. And for a mechanically complex plug-in hybrid SUV, that's a serious red flag. Here's a story that sticks with me. A man came in ready to buy a used CX-90 PHEV outright, cash in hand, because he'd read a glowing review and loved how the cabin felt. I asked him one question: are you buying this car with your eyes or with your maintenance budget? I showed him a Honda Pilot with similar mileage for meaningfully less money, and explained that Honda's reliability numbers and the Pilot's simpler, naturally aspirated engine made it the safer long-term bet. A year later, the only thing he'd spent money on beyond gas and oil changes was a new set of wiper blades. Mechanically, the reason this pairing works is simple. The CX-90 PHEV asks a lot of its drivetrain. A turbocharged engine paired with a plug-in hybrid system. More complexity, more potential points of failure. The Pilot, by comparison, is almost boring in the best way. A proven V6, a conventional automatic, no battery pack to manage. Not exciting on paper, but boring is exactly what you want when you're the one signing the loan. In many markets, a clean used CX-90 PHEV often lists somewhere in the high 30s to low 50s, depending on trim and mileage. Real money for a drivetrain, still working out its growing pains. If you're still tempted, here's your checklist. Have the plug-in hybrid battery and charging system independently tested. Check for turbocharger-related fault codes and oil consumption issues. Review service records for any hybrid system repairs. Test the vehicle in both electric-only and hybrid modes, and confirm what remains of the hybrid component warranty. The alternative, the Honda Pilot, or the Toyota Highlander Hybrid if you want a hybrid specifically, gives you the space and comfort families actually need without betting on unproven complexity. Honda's continued to post strong reliability marks recently, and the Pilot in particular has built a long track record as a dependable 3-row family hauler that just keeps running. Who should buy the Pilot? Anyone who wants real interior space, a comfortable ride, and a drivetrain with years of proven reliability behind it. Who should skip it? If fuel economy is your top priority above everything else, a hybrid competitor will serve you better on that specific front. So there it is. 5 vehicles the 2026 reliability data says to think twice about, and 5 direct alternatives that'll actually treat you right. The Blazer EV is the flashy risk. The CR-V Hybrid is the boring winner. The Acadia is the familiar trap. The Highlander Hybrid is the safer bet. The Pacifica Hybrid is the feature-loaded gamble. The Sienna Hybrid is the minivan that just works. The EV9 is the beautiful unknown. The Forester is the proven daily driver. And the CX-90 PEV is the one that looks perfect on paper, while the Pilot is the one that's actually there for you 10 years from now. 2 honorable mentions worth knowing. If you want a hybrid sedan that still makes sense in 2026, the Toyota Camry Hybrid is one of the strongest picks around, recognized among category leaders in J.D. Power's recent dependability study. And for something smaller, the Honda Civic Hybrid rounds things out as one of the smartest compact choices available right now. One thing I want to leave you with: this is general guidance, based on current reliability data, not a guarantee about any single vehicle on a lot near you. A neglected Toyota can be a worse buy than a well-maintained Buick, Mazda, Nissan, Ford, or Chevrolet. Maintenance history matters more than badge, every time. Prices vary by region and condition, so treat every number here as a starting point, not gospel. Get a pre-purchase inspection before you buy anything. Pull the full service records, don't fall in love with a badge before you've looked under the hood. If this helped you think differently about your next used car purchase, like the video, subscribe for more honest car advice, and I'll see you in the next one.